Nancy and I go back to the election of 1994, and we both were the 2 out of 11 candidates elected, so we've been at this a long time.
She's one of the most intelligent people that I've met in my professional life, but she's also one of the most pragmatic people. She's prepared, she knows her community very well.
This ability to take some issues and think of them before they're really being talked about in general society and trying to figure out what to do with it, that's going to be missed. You know, she's constantly pushed people and staff and whatever to, you know, go to the next step, and that's been great.
What Nancy brings to her leadership style with the city is a trust and a respect for her ability to search into an issue and come up with a good solution, and to be patient to be able to move something along.
So I've worked with Nancy for a long time. I have counted her as a friend. I have turned to her for advice and sort of a sounding board at various times.
Part of it is where I'm standing right here today. I mean, it was nothing much more than a swampland when we took it over about 20 years ago. We developed one of the region's first transit-oriented developments. This one here has been extremely successful, and it's now going through the next phase with light rail coming in. Nancy's had her fingerprints on every piece of this from the beginning to what will now happen here in the future.
You know, it's really hard to quantify all the different great things that the mayor has done for the city of Eden Prairie, but I would say hanging in there even when the economy was tough and sticking to the philosophy that Eden Prairie has had, which is consistently investing in our infrastructure and in our people, has really paid off and kept Eden Prairie at the forefront of communities in Minnesota, and that's really due to her leadership and the other council members on the leadership. But you know, somebody has to get out in front, and that's the mayor's job, and Mayor Tyra-Lukens always has led with great grace and wisdom.
I never thought I'd be able to talk a mayor into doing so many unusual things. We paddleboarded together to kind of celebrate that new initiative at Round Lake and the opening of the lake. She tire bumped with the mayor of Chanhassen for an opening of a trail. Was able to get her to do the mayor's first serve with one of our tennis courts. Recently, pickleball match as part of a grand opening. Her and I were soundly beaten by some people quite a bit older than her and I, but much more proficient at pickleball.
I had been on the Planning Commission for a long time, and when my term finally came up, we only let people go on so long, she suggested that I consider running for the council, which I hadn't done before, I thought about it. And it took me all summer to decide it was something I was going to do. Got in a little bit late, actually. But I wouldn't have thought about it had she not, you know, asked me to consider it.
We were out on Round Lake, and we actually had a group of people that give paddleboarding lessons, and they also do paddleboarding yoga. So on top of the paddleboarding, they also showed us some of the yoga poses on paddleboards. Nancy and I just stayed on our feet, and our goal was to not get wet that day, but we had a good time, and it was a memory that I'll take with me just as kind of really emblematic of her being all in, a supporter of our community, and willing to do almost anything to support and promote the things that were going on.
But particularly in Southwest LRT, she has been one of those people who has been able to advocate for the Eden Prairie community, for Southwest Transit, but still have a regional vision. And I know there were times when it was really hard to balance those two, and she did a wonderful job.
She was always somebody that was you could count on to be prepared to discuss public issues in a way that was productive and also kind, and that's something that I always appreciated to work with her.
The things you can say about Nancy, her approachability with residents, the way she listens carefully, and she's such a great problem solver. She's just been a delight to work with. And I really believe that all that she has done for the city will have this positive impact for generations to come.
Nancy, we will miss you tremendously, but I personally, as a friend and as a fellow council member for all these years, will just forever remember and think about the positive times we've had. But I want you to know that your legacy of helping the city, of being part of the city for 20 years, of all the things that you believed in, your legacy will live on long after you have moved out of the city. I hope you stay here forever, but if you move out and move somewhere else, your legacy will live on. So on behalf of all the city councils that you and I have served with, on behalf of the people of Eden Prairie, thank you for your service. We really, really will remember you and appreciate all that you've done.
Thanks, Nancy, for taking a chance on a young pup from Northfield back in 2002. I'll miss you, and good luck in your retirement.
So Nancy, I just want to tell you, you have been a wonderful colleague, but to me, you have been so much more than that. You have been a very, very dear friend. You have enriched my life in ways I can't even tell you. And I'm so glad I had an opportunity to know you and work with you.
Hello, Nancy. This is the second time I've been asked to make one of these video tributes. The first was a couple years ago for the mayor of Chanhassen. Dave and I happened to be out in Denver, and we thought it would be funny to film it in front of a cannabis dispensary. Well, we're not going to make that mistake this time because it took too long for me to convince people that we really were just kidding.
What?
Well, at least one of us was just kidding.
Nancy, thanks for everything you've done, and I look forward to hopefully being able to play some more tennis and even some pickleball too, but tennis as our first priority. Thanks a lot.
Hi Nancy, I'm sorry you're leaving, but I'd like to thank you for encouraging me to run for the council. It's something I've enjoyed for a great deal. I've liked working with you on the Southwest Light Rail Transit, and I've loved the fact that you always look for where the city should be going next. From 2040-15 to water issues lately and waste issues, you always seem to be one step ahead of some of the politicians in the Twin Cities, and I've always liked that about you so well. You're a great leader, you're going to be missed, your shoes are going to be very hard to fill.
Hi Nancy, I'm grateful to have the chance to thank you, to congratulate you for the successful work you've done in Eden Prairie, and I certainly wish you well in all your future endeavors. Best wishes.
Nancy, thank you very much for everything you've done and all the battles that you've fought and all the great wisdom that you've dished out from your role as mayor, and all the best in your next journey.
So Nancy, just wishing you all the best in your retirement. I am excited for you. I know you're going to get time with your grandkids, time with your husband, time for travel, time for reading, and doing the fun things that you've always enjoyed, but I think you'll enjoy them a little bit more because you won't have to be back for a meeting on Tuesday or whenever. So wishing you all the best. Just love you to death. You're wonderful.
Hey, Rick.
Johnny, how you doing?
Good.
What's going on? Hey, good to see you.
Good to see you.
Yeah, working hard, man.
Yeah, we're doing a farewell video for Nancy. I was hoping you could be a part of it.
What do you mean farewell video?
You know, just so you could say a few things about the mayor and her retirement coming up, and just kind of talk about some of the things that she did while she was in office, some good memories.
Retire? Where is she going? What's going on? What do you mean retiring?
Retiring from being the mayor. She didn't run for re-election.
Well, I mean, I know I didn't pay attention to all those details of the election. I try to stay apolitical, but she didn't run.
No, she's
wasn't on
the ballot. She didn't run for re-election.
She's not going to be the mayor anymore.
No.
Do you know who is going to be the mayor?
Yeah, we've got a new mayor.
Really?
Yeah.
Can I find this online? Is this on the internet?
It is, yeah.
Really?
Go to the city website.
So you're doing a farewell video for Nancy because she's done?
Yes.
Wow. You know what? I can think on my feet here. I can adjust on the fly. If I think about this, Nancy leaving. Wow. Nancy, I think I've been here probably for the last 2 terms as mayor. I've been with you most of that time. I think it's probably 2/3 maybe of the time that you've been mayor of Eden Prairie, and working with you has been just an awesome experience. When I think about kind of what I'll miss, boy, I'm going to miss our 2 o'clock meetings that we had on Mondays when you came straight from the tennis court or the gym. So those were always much appreciated. I'm going to miss the meet and greets that we had. I think we were able to be some of the first people to get out and drive a Tesla before a Tesla was on the market. I'm going to miss the charity golf scrambles where we used your shot more than my shot or Lindahl's, as my shot went slicing off into the woods, or Lindahl dribbled his shot down the tee box. We used your shot. I'm going to miss that. But in all seriousness, Nancy, I think we're going to miss probably one of the greatest mayors that this city of Eden Prairie's ever had. If I think about just the awesome ability you had in running a council meeting and leading the city council as a team, it's been just phenomenal. And also the ability that you had to support all the city staff, to inspire us, to hold us accountable, to push us, but also to support us and to celebrate our accomplishments and have such a positive attitude with everything the city has done. You've just been awesome, and you're going to be missed, and best of luck.